All right, man, let's take it back to where it all began. The 1970s in the Bronx, New York City, the birthplace of hip hop. Back then, DJs discovered something revolutionary. They realized that they could take soul or funk tracks, the ones their parents brought from the South, and loop the part of the song where there's no vocals, just pure instrumentation. The loop, known as the breakbeat, became the foundation of hip-hop. It's where the singer takes a break and the DJs would keep the section on repeat, creating the vibe that allowed MCs to step in and spit their own lyrics. That one act, looping breakbeats and adding spoken word, literally changed the world. Now, Lord Jamar has been vocal about this, and according to him, hip-hop was birthed directly from Black American culture, specifically by the Black youth of New York City. And we know New York is one of the most diverse and multicultural places in the country, so naturally his statement has sparked a lot of debate. Some of that pushback comes from rappers of other ethnicities like KRS-One, who is South Bronx born, but he's of Jamaican descent. Busta Rhymes, also from Brooklyn with Jamaican roots, and Fat Joe, a Puerto Rican from the Bronx. They argue that Puerto Ricans and Jamaicans were equally responsible for hip-hop's creation.
I want to downplay the Latino role in hip-hop. Yeah. They are so stupid.
Yeah.
Really? Hip-hop would not have existed without specifically Puerto Rican. Specifically. Cubans were here, Haitians were here, Dominican Republic was here, everybody was here. All of South America been in the Bronx, okay? But Puerto Ricans in particular sided with the black folk here, and the Jamaicans were coming in as well. And this group of Puerto Ricans, Jamaicans, and American blacks made hip hop. Not American blacks, not Puerto Rican, not Jamaican. All of them made the culture.
Lord Jamar isn't backing down though. His stance is clear. Hip-hop roots lie within foundational Black Americans.
We see the DNA, but nowhere do you see the DNA of Puerto Rican culture. Puerto Rican culture. I'm not talking about Puerto Rican individuals. I'm talking about Puerto Rican culture. Jamaican culture. Those things did not influence hip-hop, regardless of how official motherfuckers sound saying it. I'm sorry. I hate to hurt your heart that the thing that you adore and love is something that Black American youth created. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that hurts your heart for some reason. I don't know why it hurts you so much. But this is a fucking fact.
For those unfamiliar, FBA, or Foundational Black Americans, is a term coined by Tariq Nasheed to describe Black Americans who are descendants of slaves, those whose lineage traces back to the plantations and struggles of America. By this definition, KRS-One and Busta Rhymes, with their Jamaican heritage, wouldn't be considered FBA. Lord Jamar's argument is this: Puerto Ricans and Jamaicans participated in early hip-hop, but they didn't birth it. He questions whether we saw elements of Puerto Rican culture like salsa and bachata, or Jamaican genres like reggae and dub in hip-hop during its early days. The answer, he says, is simply no. Instead, they were influenced by what young Black Americans were doing with funk and soul beats. According to Jamar, Puerto Ricans and Jamaicans were emulating Black culture, not introducing their own into the realms of hip-hop. Unsurprisingly, the perspective didn't sit well with Fat Joe, KRS-One, or Busta Rhymes. Fat Joe in particular took offense and aired his grievances on Math Hoffa's podcast.
These rumors were made by radical Black racists. Let's just say that. Okay, it's a group of these guys that don't want to hear Jamaican. don't want to hear Guyanese, they don't want to hear a black guy that ain't down with them. Right? So their job is to criticize anybody who don't look like them, or who ain't black American.
Who are these guys?
You want me to say their name? We're gonna give them too much clout. The FBA, Foundational Black Authority, whoever the fuck these broke niggas is. I'm just keeping it a buck. And their shit is to attack everybody on Twitter. You see this nigga who run them? Like, you know, your leader? No, man, you gotta be fucking kidding me, man. And so they trying to change the narrative. They're not from New York.
Right.
So they telling a whole nother story. This was whoopity-doop-wop, yo, bro.
He downplayed Lord Jamar's contributions to hip-hop as a member of Brand Nubian and accused Tariq Nasheed of being a race baiter, creating division in the culture. He even went so far as to call them broke-ass niggas, which, let's be real, was way out of line. Here's where Fat Joe exposes a larger issue. Fat Joe, a Puerto Rican man, has long been criticized for his liberal use of the N-word. His justification, he grew up around black people.
Fat Joe can't use the N-word. And I'm like, well, Fat Joe, they've been saying that since the 90s. Like, why do
It's in the book. First of all, my projects is 90%. I'll give you 80% black. Still, my grandmother's projects is 99.9% black. So I'm Spanish. I knew I was Latino, but the whole time, I thought I was black anyway. So my mom's lived there 40 years before I was born in this project. And I'm born, blonde hair, green eyes. She brings me there. The first thing they go, look at this little Joey. He got green eyes. That's all I knew my whole life, before even elementary. It's a lot of woke society or something going on these days, and Twitter and all that. I guess they don't understand where I come from, where I was born. I'm black, bro. Fat Joe is black. I hate slavery. I hate oppression. I hate systemic racism. I know I am. I'm a frontliner. I'm not a talker on Twitter. I'm about that life.
That was cute, Joe. But until your nationality is black, you won't understand. Because you grew up around us doesn't make you one of us. And I don't mean that to split the division between Puerto Ricans and blacks, because we already know there is a minority struggle in the United States of America. But until you've gone through the same struggles that we have historically, not just when you were born, when you were out in the streets, but 400 years ago, it's been a struggle, and it's been an oppression against us all the way from slavery to the modern days in America. We don't get the same opportunities as the Jewish, as the Asians. You see, when we die from the hands of the police, it's a fight to get justice. When Kanye says one thing about Jewish people in their community, when Kyrie Irving posts a book about the Jewish community, things get done. When a man shoots up an Asian massage parlor in Atlanta, Georgia, the president passes an Asian hate bill. Have you experienced seeing black men get shot up and seeing a bill passed? Have we had reparations for the setbacks that we've had in America? I don't think you do, Joe. So you don't get the pass to say that you're a nigga. You're a Puerto Rican. But let's keep it real. Being influenced by black culture doesn't give you the right to use the N-word. Have y'all ever seen Paul Wall say the N-word? Especially when your own community didn't experience the same struggles as FBA. Joe's entire persona, his baggy jeans, starter jacket, slang, and swagger, is a direct imitation of Black American culture. He didn't come out just solely representing Puerto Rican culture. He didn't rock the silk shirts with the open collars, taco meat, thick mustache, gold chains, repping his roots. No. He adopted the style, the language, and identity of Black America, and now he wants to dismiss its foundational influence on hip-hop. Fat Joe's argument falls apart when you consider his hypocrisy. He claims to respect the black culture, but yet he's out here disrespecting Black Americans by dismissing FBA's contributions and calling Tariq, Nasheed, and Lord Jamar broke. He's claiming that he didn't imitate Black American culture when yet he's saying the N-word. And this isn't the first time that Fat Joe's been out of pocket. I remember him during his versus battle with Ja Rule, where he called Lil Mo and Vita broke, dusty, crackhead bitches.
You had to bring Remy to save you. This is pathetic. You got all them other dusty bitches. Hey, yo, let's go. Hold up, crack. I didn't see nobody come. Y'all seen somebody come out here with me?
Oh, them
I've been either.
You gotta go to the crack house to find them bitches.
Hold up, but let me tell you something, crack. I've been either.
You gotta go to the crack house to find them bitches.
Yeah, that didn't sit right either. And here's the thing. Within our own community, we might call each other out of our names and criticize one another, but that doesn't give outsiders a free pass to do the same. It's like family. You can argue and beat up your brother, but you're not letting some random dude on the streets lay hands on him. Fat Joe crossed that line. Now, Tariq Nasheed wasn't about to let this slide. You see, he's created a documentary called Microphone Check, which is a deep dive into the origins of hip-hop. He interviewed legends like Melly Mel, Grandmaster Caz, Coke LaRock, and DJ Hollywood to argue that hip-hop's foundation is undeniably rooted in FBA culture. Critics often call Tariq a race baiter, claiming he stirs up tension for attention, but the man did his research. The bigger question is, why did it hurt so much for non-FBA rappers to admit that they participated in hip-hop without creating it? No one's saying that Puerto Ricans and Jamaicans didn't contribute. They did, but contributing and creating aren't the same thing.
Fact. No one said y'all wasn't there. No one said you wasn't there. Sure you were there. But if I'm building a house and you watch me build a house, does that mean you built it too? No! When the doctor births a baby, is the doctor the father or the mother of the child because it was present at the time of birth? No! Like, it's fucking ridiculous. Like, only the people that were there during conception are the parents. Okay? So all of this shit about we were there, yeah, you were there. But there's a difference between a creator and a participator.
It's not about erasing anyone's involvement. It's about giving credit where it's due. Especially when things that Black Americans created have been taken away after a certain amount of time. Things like rock and roll and jazz were created by foundational Black Americans, yet the genre was stolen and taken from us by our oppressors. So let's take this to the comments. What do y'all think? Is the term foundational Black Americans just something Tariq Nasheed made up to stir controversy? Or does he have a point about hip-hop's roots being firmly planted in Black American culture? Was Fat Joe out of pocket for dismissing FBA contributions and calling people broke? And lastly, does he even have the right to speak on issues of Black America as a Puerto Rican man? Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below, man. Like, share, subscribe, comment, and hit that notification bell. And we out, baby. Boom! EVICTED Fat Joe.
It's him.